At the beginning of every year, I ask the Lord to give me a word that will be my focus for the year. But when he gave me the word trust for the year 2020, I wasn't a big fan. So I chose to ignore it, thinking it would go away and God would forget about it. But that's not how God operates. So as the pandemic began, I initially wasn't too concerned. I thought it would last a couple of weeks, and then we'd go back to normal. But those couple of weeks turned into the remainder of the school year, and then more and more things began to be canceled. All of the nervousness and stress and worry that I'd been holding inside trying to manage myself began to make my face spasm, and I couldn't get it to stop. So after my doctor confirmed that it was stress causing the spasms, I tried some medication, which ultimately failed. But someone suggested to me that I try meditation. And I thought, well, what better to meditate on than scripture? So I found a verse, Deuteronomy 31:6. And that verse says, I am strong, courageous, and firm. I fear not and am not in terror, for it is the Lord my God who goes with me. He will not fail me or forsake me. And I loved how this verse reassured me that not only had God been with me up to this point in time, but he was with me in that very moment, and he would be with me going forward. But it wasn't until I started to say it out loud that I really started to see a change. And about 2 days into doing it, I started to feel something snap and break within inside of me. And I knew that the anxiety that had held a grip on me had been broken. And as I continued over the next several weeks to say the verse and other ones like it out loud, I slowly had the spasms go away. And I knew that the Lord had taught me what it looked like to truly trust him. And it was all going to be put to the test a couple of months later. I'd been furloughed from my job for about 5 months when I received a text message saying that I was going to be losing my job. And I immediately went and cried out to the Lord and asked for him to let this cup pass me by. I did not want to lose my job. But because I had learned to trust him in the previous months, I learned that I didn't want my will to be done. I wanted his will to be done. And no sooner had I finished praying that prayer than my phone rang, and it was my manager calling to give me the bad news. But I wasn't angry because I knew that the Lord had answered my prayer almost immediately. But it still hurts to lose a job that you love of almost 18 years. So I cried throughout the rest of the day and into the next morning, and then prayed to God and said, I need to stop. I can't keep crying, but I need to know what comes next. What do you have for me next? And so I went to quiet time, opened my devotional for the day, and my devotion was entitled Daily Obedience. I knew that the Lord was calling me not to know what comes next, but just to be obedient to him one day at a time. And so that's what I did for the rest of 2020. And then when I was given the opportunity to once again pick a word for 2021, I had learned my lesson. And so when I was given the word patience, I started to do what I could to learn all about it. After God presented me with my verse of Isaiah 40:31, I went straight to memorizing it. And the verse says that those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will rise on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. And after the year of 2020, I was ready to renew and rise. And while I don't know what the Lord is going to do next, I know that he has been and will continue to be faithful to fulfill his promises to me. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do next.